How art thou, God? In today's video, I'll be discussing MTG etiquette. Alright then, fellows. I was gonna try to do this as prim and proper as I could possibly do, but I decided, oh well, whatever, after a moment. So, as I said, of course, this does not mean that you need to come to the table and be the most highbrow of people and address someone as sir or madam and things like this and bow and curtsy and whatnot. You know, the whole idea of etiquette in EDH is not, as formal as that per se, but it is formality in a sense as well. Just being respectful is basically what it comes down to. Like sometimes, like again, like you will have to ask people what a card does, and whatnot, or you might just say, okay, I know what that card does. That's fine. So like if somebody plays, let's say Jace, Wielder of Mysteries or whatnot. Okay, cool. Are you going to like brainstorm? Like you can say, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to brainstorm? Are you going to do this or whatnot? Like, or are you going to cast something else? Like, whatnot? Okay, cool. Like I'm paying attention to somebody else. That's also part of etiquette as well. Is like knowing what somebody else is doing. I'm not trying to interrupt them and what they're doing. I'm not trying to be a nag or whatever. I am trying to say, okay, that's cool, right? But what are you doing with it? Like I'm just trying to go, okay, sure, I know what you're doing with your card. We're all clear, and everyone else is clear on what's happening. Because when you say things like that, in that sort of regard, like, are you going to brainstorm, or are you going to try to fate lock me or whatever, or are you going to fate lock yourself or whatnot? Like if you know what the card does, like, and you say, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to do this, or are you going to do that, or are you going to do this, or are you going to try to phase my thing out? What are you doing? Like, you can phase my thing out if you want, because if it's it's -3 either way. If like if I attack your commander, I'm doing your planeswalker, sorry, I'm doing 3 damage to it, and to phase my creature out, you're losing 3 loyalty, so 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Or do you want to tick it up? So maybe it has more loyalty. Things like this. So like, and pleases and thank yous, I don't think they're as big of a thing, but again, it's just another one of those courtesy things. If you ask somebody for something, say thank you, or say, can I please have some dice or whatever? Can I please read your card? Can I please pick up your card? Like, I've had this where I haven't done these things as well. Like, because there are some people that are a little bit more quote-unquote precious with their cards or whatnot. Because, again, a lot of us have fairly expensive cards, and it's fair enough to be like, well, I don't really want anyone else touching my cards or whatnot, damaging them perhaps or whatnot, or taking them or whatnot, things like this, or whatever, like, and just being like, saying, well, I just want to, read this, or can you read, this part of the card for me where it says this part or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Things like that, because I don't remember exactly what it says, and I just need to remember because of something, something secret scroll, whatever, that I've got going on. And again, like, some things in the game will be like, hey guys, all right, how many cards are in your hand? Can you please tell me how many cards are in your hand? Okay, Steve, you've got 3. Alan, you've got 1. Whatever. Chelsea, you've got 6. Whatever. So, and people might be like, oh, I don't know what's going on or whatever, but again, if you're just asking people, hey, it's not often that super duper relevant, but sometimes it comes up where, can I please have a look at your graveyard or whatever, things like this, whatnot, just those little things of like asking people things in a polite manner sort of thing. You don't have to be like, again, the Duke of Edinburgh about these sorts of things. I think like super duper formality has sort of gone out the window quite a bit. You don't have to always say please and thank you, as I sort of say, but again, it does go a long way sometimes. And, like just saying, hey, all right, here's your graveyard back, thank you. I need to see your graveyard, thank you. All right, let's see what you've got here, things like this. And just like say, pardon me while I look at everyone's graveyard because we've got something going on and whatnot, shenanigans again. Something secret squirrel, as I say, something's going on, so I just need to see what's in people's graveyard, so, or whatnot, or I just need to know how many cards are in your hand, or whatnot, or what's the toughness of your creature there, I just need to know, just really quickly, whatnot, things like this. There's always little things that'll come up, and just being kind and courteous in the most part about most of these things is often the way to go, as I said. You don't need to, again, use those cliches of old and whatnot. Lord Stephen, like if you're having a joke and having some fun sometimes, yeah, sure, you can do these, funny things, and you can start calling your friends Lady Edna. May I attack you for 1 damage for the monarchy, please? Yes. Things like this. You could like, especially if it's the monarchy or something like that, you could be like very proper about like saying, may I attack you for 1 damage or whatnot, things like this. But, like just being like, hey, look, can I attack you for 1 damage? I just want to grab the monarchy so I can draw a card at the end of the turn. I'll let you attack me if I still have it for 1 or 2 damage or whatever, to get it back, and then maybe you'll let me attack you for damage or whatever. To get it back again, so we might just trade it back and forth. Little things like that. Like, again, that's just being another way of sort of being courteously with other people and sort of etiquette in that regard. Our whole society is sort of based on certain etiquettes and whatnot, and things like that. So, we all have to be, sort of kind and sort of, whatnot to one another anyway, or we're, raised that way to, take those initiatives when, we're out and about. Sometimes we sort of forget that those are there, but it's not hurtful to you to just be like asking and just be like, hey, look, I just want to read what your card does or whatnot, or can you just read what your card does, exactly what it does, or specifically exactly this part of exactly what your card does, because I don't remember its exact text or whatnot. What does afflict do, or whatnot, things like this, because I don't remember how this actually works. Does it happen immediately? Can I sack something in response, or does, whatnot, does it still go through? So, things like that. So, there are often little things like that that'll come up. So it's fine to ask people, but, always doing anything, in that etiquette way. And again, it doesn't have to be the most, prim and proper, as I've sort of said several times. But again, just being, open and being like, hey, this is, there's something going on with what I'm doing. Again, quote unquote, secret squirrel shenanigans are going on. So, I need to know this, or I need to know that, or I need to know whatever, that's fine. And again, it works the same way. If somebody asks you, hey, I've got secret squirrel shenanigans going on or whatnot, things like this. Hey, how many cards in hand do you have? how much toughness does your creature have? What does the activated ability of your creature do? Or what does this do? What does that do? What else does your thing do? Or whatever. It's a blocker that doesn't do anything. It is a 1/1. It has done everything that it is already going to do. Like things like that. Like it's fine to be very clear with somebody and be like, this is what my thing does. It's already done what it's going to do. It's otherwise just a 1/1 creature that's sitting on the battlefield that's a blocker for now, and maybe you'll get in for chip damage, one day. Who knows? But somebody might be open for one. And I might have Toski on the battlefield, and that one might draw me a card, or somebody might have the Monarchy again. So again, I might just chip in for that one and be like, hey, here's just 1 damage. Do you mind if I get that Monarchy off you? I'll let you take it back if I've still got it. Things like that. So there's always going to be something somewhere, and again, misunderstandings and whatnot. And then again, I've made some blunders in the past and sort of not always done the right thing sometimes. But again, some people are a bit, I don't know how to put it, but they're a bit more formal, or they're a bit more protective of, things and whatnot than other people. But just knowing, okay, this person is a bit more, whatnot, they're a bit more like that. I can't just pick up their cards and just read them. Hey, look, like most people, I will just, like, if I really want to know what a card does specifically, I'll just pick it up really quickly and just read it and then put it back down onto their battlefield, and things like this, or whatever. Or if I really need to know something, sometimes I might just look it up online because I go, well, it's not actually printed on the card, so I actually need to look it up. And I doubt that this person knows because, again, it's not a common thing that comes up or whatnot. So I might just need to look it up. So, they might not have, again, I have secret squirrel shenanigans that, no one knows about or whatever. I have something going on. Again, I can, do this or I can do that. And somehow I don't know whether this works because I've blocked the creature or I've done damage to it, or have I done damage to it because I've, done something else, or because I'm blocking with a 0 power creature or whatnot, things like this. So, there's always something that's going to come up. And again, being aware and trying to be courteous to people that are a bit more precious sometimes is sometimes one of those things. And again, being apologetic or whatever, just saying, hey, sorry, look, I didn't realize that you're, I shouldn't have touched your cards, or I shouldn't have done so without asking or whatnot, but I just wanted to read your card so I knew what it did. I'm very sorry. I just wanted to make sure I'm, playing the game right or whatnot and whatnot. So sorry about that, but from now on I will ask next time or whatnot. So I'm so sorry that I, didn't ask this time or whatnot. So again, when those things do come up, just be like, look, I made a mistake. Hey, I will apologize and I'll say I'm sorry. And from now on, I will ask you at any point if I wish to touch your cards or read your cards, because all I wanted to do was just read your cards so I knew what they were doing. That's it. I just want to know what's going on. That's it. Okay, cool. Right. Things like that. So, and if, again, that people have a problem with that, again, that it is what it is. Again, you can only do so much. You can only apologize and say, hey, look, I didn't realize that, this your deal was don't touch my cards, please. Please ask me to touch your cards. When you do know somebody is like that, you do have to remember it sometimes. And sometimes I've forgotten that, and there are some people that are like that, where it's just don't touch their cards, always ask first or whatnot. But I'm just very, casual myself. I'm just yeah, you can touch my cards, dude, that's fine. You want to read what I'm doing or whatever, that's fine. Or if I want to read somebody else's cards, I'm sort of a little bit used to just being okay, I want to know what this card does. Okay, cool, does that, cool, I'll put it back there. But that's the way it is. So I do hope that in some ways this is helpful. It's just, I guess, common sense ish for the most part, but what is common sense or whatever, to do these just generic things, and that's it. Just like very generic stuff is what I'm talking about in this, because again, as I said, and I'll probably say it 1,000 more times, is that you know, you don't need to be like, you can play up things again, as I sort of say, if you want, but again, you don't need to be so super formal about everything with everyone. Some people are incredibly chill with everything, as I am. I'm pretty chill with pretty much everything for the most part. And again, there are certainly some lines that everyone just won't cross for the most part. But again, it is one of those things where, some people aren't. And again, just being polite with people when you're playing and whatnot is just, one of those things that, again, we've learnt manners from other things and etiquette in that sense. For every other day users and whatnot. So again, it's just logical that it sort of translates over to, playing a game with people, whether that's again online or whether it's in person, IRL, whatnot, whatever. So again, guys, just be kind to one another out there, as much as possible. That's another little thing, I guess, is just, being aware. And like, again, like as I say, some people like myself and some other people are very casual and sort of cavalier about things. Don't hold things to people too much. Don't be too like angry or whatnot with people if they make a mistake, or if they don't ask you about things, or they don't always say please and thank you and things like that. Don't be obnoxious about like have everyone has to say please or thank you, or may I do this or whatnot, or if somebody doesn't ask you, again, if they can read your cards or whatnot, or whatnot. Even again, like somebody might just say, hey, can you tell me what your card does then, or whatnot. Exactly what it does, read it word for word and things like this. So again, if you don't want people to touch your cards or whatnot, things like this, expect people to say, can you please read verbatim exactly what your card does then? Because I need to know what exactly your card does. Because again, I have secret squirrel shenanigans. So yeah, like don't hold everyone to the same thing, because again, not everyone is the same, and don't get mad at them, because again, people have all kinds of different upbringings, and their expectations of like what common courtesy is and what etiquette is and what like level some people are at is completely different. Everyone has a different level that they're at. So again, like if I know somebody is a bit like that, I will take that into consideration and say, hey, may I read your card or whatnot, or can you please read your card verbatim what it does? Because, if they don't want me to touch their card, I won't touch their card. Again, because that's another thing. I just won't do something if somebody's uncomfortable with it. But I need to know what their card does still, so I need them to go, okay, well, if you don't want me to touch your card, please read verbatim what your card does, because I need to know. But anyway, guys, I hope again that that whole message gets like clear enough for you guys and is helpful. So you can let me know, and let me know as well. What other sorts of things do you want to have me talk to you guys about? What other things do you guys think would be useful? While you're playing, tips, tricks, whatever it is. To play the game and whatnot, and to deal with all kinds of different people, because that's what you're going to see. You're going to see and meet and whatnot, or hear from all kinds of people. Of course, when it's online, it's a lot different again, but things are always different. Especially like on like spell table and things like that. So yeah, it is one of those things where, I guess this has mostly been about IRL games and whatnot. So, but again, still that like, you know, um, you know, politeness can be there, and that you don't need to, be unpolite just because somebody else has been perhaps a bit of a buffoon or whatnot. So that's there. But anyway, guys, let me know all your thoughts. Write them down there in the comments below. I'll be sure to try to respond to all of you. I really enjoy interacting with you all, talking about all the geeky things that we love. So yeah, I'll see you down there in the comments below, or see you in the next one. Hey, you've just finished watching one of our videos. A bunch of other videos are popping up on your screen now for you to check out, so why not check them out?